Welcome back. For all of you dog lovers out there, if you're looking for a place that offers dog training, puppy training, doggy daycare and boarding, holistic pet food, and all of that under one roof, you're going to love the Canine Korral Institute of Canine Behavior in Sarasota. And we welcome now Mark Chambord. We're looking at some pictures, Mark. Tell me who these pictures are of.
The pictures of the dogs that you just saw are dogs from Sarasota County Animal Services, and they're all up for adoption. And actually they spent Saturday over at our facility doing agility and getting a little of their exercise and getting away from the shelter. And they had a lot of fun.
So they're getting training before you get them.
Oh, and they were doing so good too. They just want to work, you know.
Yeah, to them it's play.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, put a little food behind anything and it's play.
We're the same way.
Yeah, definitely. I work for food.
So we're talking about the holidays now. We're going to be entertaining a lot during the holidays. You've got guests and a lot of people coming over. The big decision, do you want your dog to be a part of the festivities?
Yes, you know, whether you've had your dog for a while, you might already know what you want to do with the dog, whether it should stay or not stay. But if you have a timid dog, I don't believe that it should be at the facility. You know, you don't want to scare the dog worse unless you're going to have somebody greeting and letting the dog greet other people. If you have an untrained dog or an unfriendly dog, you also probably want to either put them in another room or board them or have a friend stay with them. The thing is that you want to make sure that the dog doesn't become a nuisance.
Well, let's show how you do that now. So say somebody comes to the door and rings the doorbell. You're going to demonstrate with our friend here what to do.
This is Eve. Eve also is up for adoption. She's been on once before. She doesn't have a whole lot of training, so I'm going to work at this a little bit. But what I like to do is take the energy from the front door. So let's say our front door is over here. What we want to do is we want to place her over here, and then I'm going to ask Stephanie to assist me. Eve, stay.
Stephanie's our guest.
Stay.
I've been invited to Mark's house.
It's a great party.
Stay. How you doing?
Good.
Come on in.
Thank you.
This is Eve.
Hi, Eve. How are you?
And Eve will greet. And the thing is you don't want the dog to jump on anybody.
No,
and what we're really doing is we're moving all the energy from the front door here. Your dog may bark. There's nothing wrong with a dog barking at a front door, but it becomes a negative energy when the dog doesn't stop. So take everything from the front door, move it here, and it works when you're not having a party. It works in normal everyday life.
So we're saying that the door is here and that you held the dog away from the door. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, it does, because we don't want the dog jumping up on somebody.
Because they're so happy.
Well, and also when you get everybody in that small little corner, it becomes very tight, and it can become actually very negative for the dog. So get the dog away from the front door. Get a good stay, get a good place. I recommend using a mat. It works every time.
That's a great idea.
And Eve, you did make me look good too.
Eve did well. Now,
she's a good girl.
We're traveling for the holidays. Should we take the dog in our car?
What I would suggest is if you're traveling and you haven't had your dog before, make sure you take short trips with the car.
Practice.
Yeah, you do not, I do this all the time if I travel with Toby, do not have the dog eat at least 6 hours before. It needs to fast.
So they do get car sick occasionally?
They can get car sick, and then of course you're going to the bathroom, especially if you're taking your dog on an airplane or something like that. So we're 6 hours of fast of food, limited water. Bring a toy or a blanket with you. And I suggest securing a seatbelt, your dog to a seatbelt. We have harnesses that we sell at our store. Also possibly a crate if you have an SUV. It keeps the dog secure, especially if you get a dog that's actually watching everything go by. They're trying to catch it and hurt it.
Right.
And it really doesn't make a good experience for the dog.
I'm worried about accidents. So say you've got to stay in a hotel now. How do we prepare for that? Oh, he's laughing.
If you stay in a hotel, I suggest that, you know, it's a whole new place, depending upon how well your dog is trained. I would suggest bringing a foldable crate with you. Put the dog in the crate. When you enter, you go around the room first before you allow the dog to go around, so the dog knows that this is going to be your place and you're going to be in charge of it since it's new.
Good advice.
Then let your dog out. And don't encourage barking, don't encourage any of that kind of stuff. You just really want to make sure that the dog knows it's just going to be a very temporary place. Family, if you're going to go visit family, whether it's here or abroad, and you bring your dog, however you bring your dog there, remember that it's their house, respect their rules. Don't be letting your dog jump all over the furniture and everything.
Some people don't like for dogs to sit on their sofa. Well, that's a shock to me, but...
Some people think that just because you have a dog, everybody should like it, and that's not necessarily the case. So make sure you don't bring your dog without it being announced ahead of time. Also, if there's a dog in the family and they have never met, I always suggest going for a walk outside on neutral territory. You never want any kind of a alpha pack mentality within the household of the dog that's already there.
They should meet outside of the house?
They should always meet outside. And you know, what I like to do is let one follow the other so they can get that little sniff that they're looking for and then kind of reverse it. That's how they say hello. That's where they get all the energy and the knowledge of what that other dog's about. Then what I suggest is the new dog enter the house first, and then the dog that lives there enter after, so it doesn't become a
no
big
territorial.
Yeah, you want to kind of make it like you're there to have fun too. You don't want to deal with dogs that have all these protective territorial issues. It's just not good.
Let dogs know where they should go to the bathroom. Our dog, we traveled a lot, and he would get confused, but he knew he didn't go on carpet, so he'd go in the bathtub. And that was a surprise to the host sometimes.
Oh, I'm sure that made you very popular, Linda.
I mean, it's easier to clean, I guess.
Sometimes you should just leave your dog in a kennel. Right?
Yes, you know, we're pretty well filled up with our kennel.
Oh.
I also say, you know, if you're going to kennel your dog, we do free daycare for the first time that you bring your dog for daycare itself. And if you're boarding, you want to make sure that with the boarding, your dog's familiar with that place.
Yes.
Check the place out. Is it too clean? Is it too dirty? Does it have a loving feeling? Our tagline is Canine Korral, where the love is.
And you can find out more by going to Canine Korral, srq.com. A great idea for the holidays. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda.
And we'll be back and talk about empty bowls and how you can help the hungry people in our community.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
He says, where's my treat?